All right, so for this video, it's going to be a little bit different. It is going to be on how rare is peak attractiveness. And the subscriber gave me the idea to do this. Now, before I even start, I need to tell y'all something. Can y'all please go down to the comment section? I mean, not the comment section, but the description down below, and make sure to click that link. I noticed that some of y'all who did the survey, this is the same survey, the 20v20 survey. I noticed that some of y'all who did it didn't even finish it. I understand y'all Gen Zers and stuff like that, short attention span, but at least try to finish it. It's only gonna take you like less than 2 minutes. Just try to attempt to finish it. And you see what I said, the word attempt. Attempt to finish it. I understand it's hard, but just do it. It's gonna be quick and easy. This is only for the ones who didn't do it at all. Now, a subscriber gave me this idea, and I kind of noticed that I'm gonna post this comment real quick so y'all can see. And what it says is, and this was from like a really old video that I'd done, like maybe up to like 2 years ago. He says, I'm pretty sure that if you take 700 people, you won't find anyone better looking than Alan. Try 7 million, maybe you'll find one. Maybe you will find one. Now, the reason why I'm going to talk about this video is because I noticed that some people kind of like recommend me to other YouTubers who do the same thing that I'm doing. And one thing that I noticed is like when they get down to the actual rating, because they usually put the ratings at the end so people can watch the majority of the video. What I noticed is that when they actually rate the person and they come to the final conclusion, it's usually something astronomical, like 1 in 30 million, 1 in 60 million, or something like that. Now, I just want to say that for these particular YouTubers, I mean, they're doing a good job, but it's like I kind of want to put these numbers into perspective. All right. So first of all, when we're talking about extreme attractiveness, right? I just want you to put this into your mind when you're talking about somebody who's, let's say, 1 in 60 million. In a country like the United States, where it's only around like 335 million people, you might expect to see something close to like 5 or 6 million people to reach that level. Just pure numbers, because it's over 8 billion people in the world. All right. You have 8 billion people in the world. You might only have at best a handful of people that can reach that level. At best, a handful, right? You got to remember that America, we're only like 3% of the population. So seeing those type of numbers is kind of off in a way, in my honest opinion. All right. Now, if we go even rarer, let's say like 1 in 100 million, and we split it down between men and women, so even lower. So let's say women 4 billion, men 4 billion, for example. At best, and we're talking about at best, maybe we might get one person that might reach that level, all right, of 1 in 100 million. Just one person from each gender in this country right here, okay? Just keep that in mind. And even there might be a possibility that it might be like a 20% possibility that there might not even be one, all right? Now, if we're talking about, let's push it a little bit further, 1 in 1 billion, at that point, it gets a little bit extreme to where you might not have anybody in this current generation or era that might even be at that high of a level. Because you need the proper genetic mix or makeup to even have something of that rarity, okay? Now, another thing that you got to think about too, this is thinking a little bit deeper, is sometimes it might even skip generations. So in, let's say 200 years ago, you might have 2 people that probably could have been at that high of a level of being 1 in 1 billion of a rarity, all right? You might have nobody in this generation that could be on that level. You might have up to a handful of people within a previous past generation that could have been on that level, right? So that's something else to think about. This kind of goes a little bit deep in my opinion. Now, another thing too is with another subscriber, he said that that like he got angry at me because he thinks that, you know, this model isn't as attractive as some of the celebrities that he knows. And this model, this random model that he doesn't know, I'll, you know what, I'll make things interesting. Let me put some more context to it. The average model versus the average Hollywood celebrity, movie actor, or whatever. All right, so the average model versus the average actor. The model that you never heard of in your life, that you never knew existed, I can guarantee you that model looks better than your favorite actor. Only for the simple fact that models are generally selected because of their looks versus the actor who actually needs the talent, because you can get away with a lot if you're very talented. If you're very talented or funny or charismatic, like the first person that I think about is The Rock. But there's plenty of models that facially, not body aesthetics, but facially look better than The Rock. Let's be honest, right? So we also got to keep that in mind. So, yes, models on average are generally more attractive than actors. But the only reason why we talk about actors is because we see them on screens. You only see models, maybe runways, maybe magazines if you read them anyway. But for the most part, you'll normally see actors that are in front of you too. All right. And another thing too, as well, is that kind of throws it off a little bit is you don't really see people talk about models all too often as being the most attractive in the world. You only see people talk about actors for the most part. At best, you might get maybe Tyson Beckford here and there for, you know, as a black model, but for the most part, you don't really see people putting too much emphasis on these models. All right, so another thing that I also want to talk about is we got to understand that everything that we see on social media is not reality. All right. So, and I'm not talking about photoshopping or anything like that. What I am talking about is 45% of the world live in rural areas, meaning that they never took a selfie before. They probably don't even have internet access. They probably don't even know Instagram even exists. And this is 3.5 billion people that we don't even know about, right? So they don't know that they're the genetic exception. They don't have no clue about this. The the best looking person right now in the world probably lives in a rural area doing, you know, their basic normal traditional things, and they have no clue that they're this high in attractiveness, which is kind of crazy in my opinion. All right. So it's like what we see is the best, but it might not be the very best. Okay. And then this kind of goes to like the iceberg theory of what I said again of what we see in the world versus what we don't see in the world. You know, the person might be living in, you know, in a remote village in South Africa, in a rural province of Asia or Africa, no photos, no fame, no idea who they are or how rare they might be. And it's just something that we got to kind of like think about as well. So when we say that somebody is 1 in 100 million, we got to be very careful when we do say that because, like I said again, America is only 3% of the population. You know, you have other countries, not even continents, just countries like India, that's literally like what, like 6, 7 times our population. So does that mean they have more actors that are more attractive than American actors? Just sheer population alone? That's something that people need to think about, right? So when we rate these American actors and give them these high rating scores, is that truly their actual rating? And why aren't models being put in that same realm as these actors? And that's all it is, man. So that's all I'm going to talk about. And tell me what y'all guys think about this. And yeah, thanks.